Well, I cannot believe last month we had Compassion Camp and talked about all the things that make up compassion together. And it got me thinking that compassion, being kind to yourself and to your neighbors and showing God's love, it's kind of like planting seeds. And if you remember, one of our very last activities, Compassion Action, that we did together was to take these seeds, look, these small little seeds, and start to grow them. Grow them in jars and watch them sprout. And so I did that, and as you can see, they are doing really well. One little seed, just put them in a jar, gave them a little water, and from there we have these beautiful seedlings now. They're starting to grow, and so much life. I'm just amazed at how much life is in such a small seed, hardly bigger than my fingernail. And this is going to grow into a beautiful bean plant very soon. It's only been a few weeks. So today we're going to hear a story that Jesus told all about seeds. So many seeds that scattered here and there, all kinds of different places. And I thought I would tell you another story. It's called The Little Gardener. So as I read this story to you and to my beautiful bean sprouts, I want you to pay attention to what are the seeds in this story? What is the power of seeds? What kinds of seeds are in action when we hear this story? And we'll talk a little more at the end of it. It's called The Little Gardener.
The Little Gardener by Emily Hughes. This was the garden. It didn't look like much, but it meant everything to its gardener. It was his home. It was his supper. It was his joy. Only he wasn't much good at gardening. It wasn't that he didn't work hard. He worked hard, very, very hard. He was just too little. But there was one thing that did blossom in his garden. It was a flower. It was alive and wonderful. It gave the gardener hope, and it made him work even harder. He worked all morning. He worked all afternoon. He worked all night. Still, the garden was dying. He would have no home. He would have no supper. He would have no joy. One night, feeling tired and sad, he made a wish. No one heard his little voice, but someone saw his flower. It was alive and wonderful. It gave the someone hope. It made the someone want to work harder. The next day the gardener was weary and slept the whole day. He slept the whole week. He slept the whole month. And when he finally awoke, it had been just long enough for something to change. This is the garden now, and this is its gardener. He doesn't look like much, but he means everything to his garden.
The end. So, as you listen to that story, what were the seeds that you saw sprouting and growing? What was the compassion in action? Was it the seeds actually in the garden that were growing and growing, and this little gardener was doing his best to take care of? Was it the flower that grew so beautifully that it drew the attention of that little girl? Was the seed the little gardener himself, who was working so hard to take care of everything and even was brave enough to just say, I can't do it on my own. I need some help. And planted that seed of inspiration for that girl to see what could be, the possibilities of this garden, so that while the little gardener slept, she worked so hard and created such a beautiful garden. Maybe the seeds were all of those things. And maybe it was something else. But I hope this story helps you see that the seeds that are scattered so generously in Jesus' parable, the story he shares in today's gospel, can mean lots of things. And the important thing is to just take care of them. Throw those seeds out there. Be generous with them. And know that God is going to be planting those seeds just where they need to be so that they can grow and grow. And you are like those seeds in the ways that you spread compassion and love and kindness in your world. And I hope that's what you take away from this story today, that there are lots of ways seeds are planted, and God does some miraculous things with even the smallest of things. They can grow and grow into something beautiful, something we don't even imagine on our own, and we can do it together.